What's up, you guys? Welcome back to Sinister Bunny Studios, your go-to channel for heavy metal content. Now, some of you may have noticed there was a bit of a gap in terms of my upload schedule and stuff like that with the channel, and today I'm hopefully going to try to elaborate on why some of that was happening. I may not get to everything because I might not think of everything off the top of my head, but I'll cover mostly all of what happened to cause a gap and why I'm starting back up now. So let's just get into it. So first of all, the biggest thing that I would have to mention is that Kaylee and I have moved. We didn't move far. We were in a one-bedroom apartment beforehand, and now we're in a two-bedroom. And the room that you're in with me right now is the new second bedroom, which we have turned into an office so that we have more space for stuff. My desk is right behind me. Kaylee's is over on the other side of the room. And we have a normal bedroom and now the office. And so that took a big chunk of my time in getting ready for that, packing up and getting things to move and getting all the logistics figured out, because with the COVID thing going on, it kind of screwed up the process for us moving and locking down the apartment and all this crazy stuff. It was just a very, very, very long process. Nonetheless, we're in a new apartment, we're mostly unpacked, and we're still just kind of moving things around and getting settled in. But like I said, we're in a new apartment. This is the office, which is dedicated to office things, and my desk and stuff is dedicated to making music and all the stuff that I do, videos and all that fun stuff. So now I'm not crammed in the corner of our dining room like at the last place. It's a bit more of a dedicated environment, so that's really nice, and probably the biggest thing that I can note, and probably the biggest thing that you might have noticed. Second thing that kind of pertains to the gap in upload and interactivity, near the beginning of the COVID crisis, I had mentioned to you guys that I still had a job and was considered essential and all that fun stuff. And that lasted for a little while, for about a week or two, and then unfortunately a lot of people like myself at my job were laid off. And you know, it's fine now, you know, the way things worked out, we're kind of okay. My employer is still technically paying us, those of us who got laid off, which is weird, I've never heard of that. But you know, I'm not going to complain to get paid still, to sit around and basically do nothing. It's almost like I'm getting paid to do videos and stuff now. But yeah, that happened, and that caused a lot of weird issues within myself, and just getting things right in terms of my routine and stuff like that, because I was just sitting at home a lot. And some of you might think, well, you had a lot more time to make stuff, and yeah, but for the first couple of weeks I kind of moped around because I didn't know what I was going to do. I didn't know where the money was going to come in, and we were trying to move like we have, and it was just really bad timing, and it just put a lot of stress and stuff on my mind and my conscience, and it caused a lot of demotivation. I wasn't very motivated to do anything, and it just kind of pressed down on my inspiration to make videos and music in general. But that was another thing that happened, and as a result of that, honestly, and it kind of ties into a third reason why there's a bit of a gap, I was finishing up my last year at college. This spring semester was my last semester of my 4-year career to get my bachelor degree, and honestly, now that I think about it, I got a thing in the mail from my university today, and I'm pretty sure that's my degree. But I think I talked about it in a live stream or something. I graduated, but I didn't get to do the walking ceremony where you walk across the stage in cap and gown and shake people's hands and get your degree and all that because of the COVID stuff and whatnot. So instead I get it in the mail. At least I'm pretty sure that's what it is. But that was another thing, and that ties into the schooling aspect. Because I got laid off, I had more time at home, which helped me to better focus on my schoolwork and get stuff done, and finish with good grades and a really good GPA. And beyond that, I'm part of the honors college at my university, and in order to graduate with honors, you need to write and research and study an honors thesis, which I had been doing, and I was able to finish that up a lot easier with the extra time that I had on my hands. So in a weird way, it's a double-edged sword. It was kind of crappy to get laid off and everything, but it helped me to finish school strong and finish up my thesis and everything. And so I had to write that thesis, a really long paper essentially of research that I've done on something that I think is new and interesting and that should be researched further. And you know, I did everything I could within the limitations of what's going on in the world. And then I had to like present it and everything, and I did that through like Zoom, the video conferencing stuff. I did a presentation of it and all that fun stuff. So long story short, I'm going to be graduating with honors. I finished my thesis. I was able to finish my thesis and finish school strong because I got laid off, and I got laid off because of COVID. So it's all connected in a very weird way, but all of it kind of tied into why there's such a gap and stuff. And I was, again, you know, it's not that videos and stuff and music aren't important to me, but school is kind of top priority, and I was at the end of it, and it was the home stretch, and I needed to finish strong and get it done, and that's exactly what I did. So I was very focused on school and finishing my thesis, and you know, that just didn't leave a lot of room for other activities such as making videos and all that fun stuff. So it was a very long process. There's a lot of things involved. You know, we moved, I got laid off, I had to finish school, finish my thesis, all that fun stuff. It all kind of tied into not having time for extra stuff like making videos and all that. However, now that I'm done with school, for now, until I go to law school in the future, not anytime soon, I'm gonna take a bit of a break, but I got my degree. Kaylee's still going to school, she's working, I'm still laid off currently, and we're in a new apartment and with a dedicated office, so I can start making some really cool stuff and have an actual dedicated space, and things are looking good for the channel and everything else. And I want to note something, and maybe I'll address it in a separate video. I want to thank you guys so much for doing all that you do in terms of my music that I've released, to help support myself in doing this and writing music and making music and putting it out and stuff like that. There has been a huge influx of listeners on streaming platforms and stuff like that. Now, I don't see the results from people buying my music and stuff like that until 2 or 3 months after someone does it. So if you buy a song today, I won't see that you bought it until 2 or 3 months from now. It's just the way the stores work. But you know, I was constantly looking at the numbers and looking at Spotify, and you know, the numbers on Spotify were decent, and it was decent enough for me to justify going through with DistroKid to, you know, release my music and sell my music and stuff like that. But weirdly, because I'm not an Apple user, I'm a Windows and an Android guy, I just didn't think much of anything else. I thought Spotify would be the top. Well, I was curious the other day, probably a week or two ago, and I looked at the statistics for Spotify and was like, okay, and then looked at my statistics for Apple Music, which is Apple's streaming platform, I believe. Numbers are 10 times that of Spotify on Apple Music. So that's phenomenal. I found out a lot of you guys are Apple users and iOS users and Mac users and whatnot. So that's great, and I didn't really even think to look at that side of the world, and that gave me even more confidence to keep doing this stuff. So that's great. Thank you guys for listening and streaming my music and buying it and all that fun stuff. And if you haven't and you don't know what I'm talking about, my music with Sinister Bunny Studios is out on all platforms that you can think of, most of them actually. Spotify, Google Play, Amazon, Apple Music, iTunes, all that fun stuff. You should be able to find my music there. It's a lot of original stuff at the moment. I have my Jaws theme cover up there, and I'm going to be working on getting all of my other metal covers up there eventually, but it adds up and gets costly for me. I need to be able to make sure I cover my losses from getting the licenses for the covers and stuff like that, and it's looking like that may be a possibility. So keep doing what you're doing, and if you don't know what I'm talking about, go check it out, stream some of my music, and if you're feeling extra generous, go buy one of my songs or something like that and help support the channel, and share it around, and share all your favorite songs of mine and share them to the world so that other people can hear it and it can continuously help support the channel. And that's just a very long tangent to the whole topic of this video. I guess there's a lot of topics to this video, but yeah. Today I just kind of wanted to talk to you guys a little bit and give somewhat of an updated version of what's going on in my life and for the channel and stuff like that. So there's a new space, office, I got a lot of cool stuff coming. I have a lot of exciting stuff coming up that I can't tell you about right now because I'm working on videos for it. But it's pretty sweet, so stay tuned because that stuff's going to be coming very soon. And yeah, things are looking pretty great right now. So like I always say, thank you so much for liking, commenting, and subscribing and hitting that bell so you get notified whenever I put videos up or whenever I go live. And thank you for being you. Like always, stay metal, my friends, and go listen to my music if you would. It's much appreciated. Okay, bye!